random question, but camping, do y'all have a favorite camp food or camp luxury? You know, because you're packing light. You guys camp for a bunch of days, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So is there a creature comfort for camping that is just a kind of a favorite for you guys to have, or a creature comfort food?
I'm not real specific on it. Pretty much just we brought peanut butter for our breakfast. Just get that in the day or in the morning.
Yeah.
Really kind of get you going.
Simple and a lot of calories.
Simple, easy calories, and you need you're going to need calories.
Yeah.
And you're working it off. You're riding
Oh,
all
yeah.
day long.
Absolutely.
So there was no like specific food that we had or liked. We did pretty light. We didn't do a whole lot of camp cooking. We did stuff that you could just ready eat or something that you could just rehydrate.
I see.
So we did very light camping.
Mm-hmm. What was one thing that, Crissie, what would you have changed about your camping that you would have liked to had?
Warmer sleeping bags.
We failed on
Did
that.
you have 40-degree bags or 50-degree
We
bags, or what
had
did you have?
40-degree bags.
Compact
but
sleeping bags.
Yeah.
The
right.
mountains, and it was fine in Arkansas and Oklahoma.
Yeah.
But you get in the mountains in Colorado, and it got down to 25 to 30 at night.
It
Yeah.
doesn't work.
Yeah.
Been there, done
Yeah.
that.
Camping
shivered
at
through some
10,000
nights.
foot plus elevation in a 40-degree bag is not a good idea. We were cold.
Oh, I bet. Talk about that.
You're going to have to tell your story about Oklahoma.
You got to get in here.
Oh.
All right. Let's get
All right, we're calling Crissie in. We're getting her in here.
All right, guys. We're going to call Crissie in to join us for a second. So here she
You can
is.
see me?
So one thing we haven't asked you guys about yet was there any accidents on your trips or laydowns or anything like that?
Yeah.
We both definitely crashed.
We kept count. I think total
3 each.
Oklahoma was kind of the terrible place. But
The
each,
terrible
yeah.
place.
Because it rained. Because that hurricane came through a few days because that year it came in through California and then across, and so it rained a few days before, and it made Oklahoma a little muddy in certain sections, and so I think we counted. I crashed the whole trip. I think 5 or 6 times.
If you count Oklahoma.
If you count Oklahoma, because in
You don't count Oklahoma. Zero.
that mud section,
it was
yeah.
one section of road.
I think I crashed 4 times. Oh no, 3 times.
Maybe
in just
a
that
mile.
one section. In a mile.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
Yeah.
And funny story is that was actually the section where we met up with another rider from Ohio, and he was riding solo, and he ended up getting his leg pinned under the bike on a DR650.
Oh.
And luckily that
I've done that. I've got one of those.
We were there with him, so I helped him pick the bike up. Otherwise, he would have been out there by himself.
Trying to
Oh,
wiggle
It's
out.
heavy enough that when you've got your dang leg under there, it's not crushing your leg, but you just can't get up.
Yeah.
You just,
Yeah.
it's 400 pounds and you're stuck on your side.
And it was
Yeah.
the most slick, snottiest mud you'd ever. I mean, you couldn't hardly stand in it. It was so bad.
I mean, I feel sorry for whoever's fields we rode through, but a section we had to cut through someone's field just to get
Had to
around
get
it.
into the grass just a little, just to get
Yeah.
traction.
Yeah. Well,
It was that bad.
were there any other places that you had any problems or?
So Oklahoma also has sand on some of the roads.
Oh yeah.
And
It's,
so
it's less gravel and more sand.
yeah, it just all of a sudden to go from gravel and then it's just 5 inches of sand, and so I got into this one section, hitting it I think about 50, 55.
Yeah, we're probably doing
And-
about 50 or 55. I was in front.
Yeah, he kind of warned me. He's like, "Oh, it got
Oh,
sandy."
by the way, yeah.
And I hit it a little too fast and got cross-rutted in 2 different ruts that someone had made, and
Probably
started
mine.
fishing my whole way down. I think a quarter of a mile. Not even that. It wasn't that far, but just
Yeah, it
fish
started-
tailing all the way down it, and ended up in the big pile of sand on the side.
Right.
But the whole time I'm just like, I'm gonna crash. And it took so long, but yeah.
And I have an intercom, so I could hear her. I'm already sliding to a stop, turning around before she ever hit the ground.
So your laydowns were in Oklahoma and Arkansas. The mountains, actually, which is what I think
Yeah.
people would think is intimidating, didn't give you problems.
No,
Yeah.
no. It's
I,
just the mud and the sand.
Yeah.
I mean, the stuff that, obviously going to give some people some problems, but yeah.
I washed out my front end in the sand in Oklahoma, just coming to a corner and, a little too fast, and had more confidence in the front tire than I probably should have, and it laid the bike over. I also fell over sitting still, like the wind blew my bike over.
Yeah, so when they say Oklahoma winds, it's true. It's like
The winds
30
in
to 35
Oklahoma
miles an
are-
hour.
Yeah, they are killer. And then another time I just lost my footing and foot slipped out on some loose stuff and I fell over.
Oh, I also did crash in a river because we took a little detour.
We took a detour because I wanted to play.
Yeah. Well, that's good though.
Yeah.
So, Crissie, on a woman's perspective, and they, a lot of women think, oh, I can't go do that or whatever. I mean, you're living proof they can. So, what would you say?
And very well.
And very well, yeah. I've ridden, I know. But so, what would you say that to those women that say they can't do it? I mean, you've been in their shoes.
I mean, if something's scary, just take it a little bit slower. I mean, it's totally fine. You don't have to go as fast as other people. I mean, heck, Ronnie,
never ride at someone else's pace.
Yeah,
Always
he
ride
rides to my pace.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the thing of, don't ride to the fastest person's pace. The fastest person should try to lower their pace to make sure you're safe.
Absolutely.
In my opinion. I mean, you want everyone to get there safely. You don't want anyone to break their leg or anything like that. So.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and now, did you ride before you met Ronnie?
No.
No. Did he force it upon you?
No, we actually, whenever I met him, he rode sport bikes around.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'd ride on the back occasionally. We do Sunday rides with a group.
Right.
And then, what was it? Ryan got you into dirt bike riding.
Mm-hmm. Friend of mine.
Yeah. And so I was like, well, I want to try riding. I got a dirt bike. Rode that for a little bit. And I was like, I want to try riding street. So I got a street bike.
That
Hated
didn't last long.
a street bike. And this is how we ended up getting into dual sports.
Mm-hmm.
Because the bike that I was used to was a dirt bike, so we got a street legal dirt bike. It wasn't street legal technically per se, but it would pedal lighting kit and everything on it. So we started doing gravel roads because you ended up getting something that you could also ride on gravel roads, and then that's how we got into the dual sports.
Cool. Have you regretted it?
No, not at all.
So
I actually don't own any full-on street bikes anymore. They've all merged to either dirt bikes or dual sports.
Yeah. Well, is there anything else that you guys would want to say to somebody that's wanting to do the TAT, maybe a husband and wife or two buddies or two girls or whatever, that you would say, hey, make sure you do this before you attempt it?
Definitely don't overpack. There was stuff that we had that we never used. Go through your gear, use it, see what you actually need, and then repack and see what you actually need to have with you versus what you think you need.
I mean, I've seen pictures of people that have done the TAT, and they have so much baggage, like side bags, top bag, tank bag, and we had maybe half on each bike than what I've seen normally, and we didn't even use everything.
Yeah.
Wow.
So.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, that's good
A
information.
lot of
So.
unnecessary stuff to get you right along, and all that is extra weight. And if you have to pick your bike up, it's no
Yeah.
fun.
Look at what you're doing, plan it out, kind of give yourself a good idea, but I'd say the best thing you do is have confidence that you can do it.
Yeah.
Is it anything? I mean,
Yeah, there's enough
Yeah.
information out there and people that will share the information that they can ask. And I would say
Right.
probably just make sure you ask somebody
Yeah.
if you have a question, because there's always going to be somebody there to help you. So.
Right.
Yeah,
Cool.
the information's there. Just have to, some good trip planning and have a good time.
And I mean, if something happens, on the TAT, it's gotten to where some of the roads are paved. It's not all gravel anymore.
Right.
Someone's going to come across, and if you need some help, I'm pretty sure they're going to stop and help you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
they're not
I
going to
agree.
leave you stranded there. So.
Yeah. Well, cool. Well, anyways, I want to thank Ronnie and Crissie for coming to the shed today. And if you guys have any questions or anything like that, pass them on. We'll pass them on to those guys, and we'll get your questions answered. So thanks again for showing up for this edition of the shed, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks.
Thanks.